You're listening to another Geek Pride podcast. Sit back, relax, and put it in your ears. Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and any other kind of gender that you identify with. I am the legendary Beard Mike Orvis. This is the Geek Pride podcast, and with me today I have two fast friends and this lovely Christmas time. With me is the venerable and charming Mr. Sean Wallace.
Hello, everyone.
And also, I have the Carmen Sandiego of Geek Pride. It is Phoebe Tonks.
Hey.
My God, Carmen Sandiego. There is a reference I had not expected. Excellent.
The nostalgia is strong.
It is.
Every now and then,
I fall
when I'm
apart.
walking around, just minding my own business, my brain will go, "Hey, Mike," and I'm like, "Yes, brain," and it goes, "Stop thinking about every mistake you've ever made for 2 seconds," and I'll go, "Okay, brain, what do you want?" And my brain will go, "Where on earth is San Diego? Come on, San Diego!" And I'm like, "Why? Why, brain? Why are you doing this to me?" And then it'll just be in my head like for a week.
Yeah, but Mike, where on earth can she be?
I don't know. I look everywhere I look. I mean, admittedly, that's mostly just eastern parts of Kent and occasionally Sussex. But I'm looking, like I'm keeping my eyes open. Have you seen Phoebe? You're like our international woman of mystery. You travel the world. I'm fairly certain you're a spy.
Oh, don't start on that one. People did actually genuinely think I was a spy for a while.
Are you kidding?
Wow.
That's amazing. Is it because of all the
basically,
cosplay?
I went to stay with one of my friends over there, and I said I was from the UK,
Yeah.
and her dad thought that meant the USSR. And I sort of became this weird... It's the running joke that I'm a Russian spy now. And her niece
you're masking
thought
your
I
accent
was
incredibly well.
called Freebie. So, Freebie the Russian spy.
Well, dos vidania. Okay, so before we get into it, we're having a bit of a kind of mix up of the podcast because it is our Christmas special, as you got by that lovely intro that has totally already been made, and I totally know what I'm referencing to.
Yep.
I would like to issue an apology. Last week, I got a little bit distracted when I was trying to look for a meme, and it led to a very frustrating editing session for our very own Sean Wallace. I got a virtual slap on the wrist.
Yep.
For clicking and typing. So what I want to do, Sean, is I've got your Facebook open now, and I'm just gonna issue an apology. So if you can all bear with me, dear Sean, I'm very sorry about doing the typing. It's all right, mate. I'm just really sort of I'm sorry about it.
Yeah.
I just want the world to know. Very sorry about doing the typings during the Geek Pride. Oh, missed it. Sorry, let me just go back there. The Geek Pride podcast. I won't let it happen again. You are beautiful. Kind regards, Michael. There we go. Right. Okay. So I've done that now. Yeah. So we can that's water under the bridge. We can all just like move on with what we were doing, and I hope that that's really fixed the rift that was caused by my negligence.
Now, do you know what I love most about this joke? Is the fact that you're doing the edit. So you're not even if you were being serious, you're not saving me any effort.
I'm keeping it in.
Yeah, I know. But even if you were, then it's just I just like that as the joke. I mean, in fairness, I did say because I went a bit mad with the last edit because I fucked up in a couple of interesting ways, mostly by getting nearer and further away from the microphone as I just did.
Yeah, I hate it when people do that. It's just like, will you just pick a distance and just, stick to it? It's so fucking annoying.
Exactly. It's like a stalker. Pick a distance and stay to it, okay? But yeah, so it ended up taking so much longer, and there was just something. You're clicking put me over the edge because it was just too much, man.
I am genuinely sorry. The ADHD got the better of me, and I was like, "Oh, a meme," and just had to go and find it because we were talking about it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I just know. I know next time that it's you. That it's you.
Well, anyways, what I thought we'd do is, before we get into kind of the meat and potatoes of our Christmas discussion, slash Hanukkah, slash holiday, slash whatever you celebrate.
Absolutely.
I thought we could very quickly go through any recommendations that we've got for the week. You know, a lot of you are going to be listening to this, and some of you are probably going to have to be putting up with your family rather than enjoying time with your family. So, is there anything that the two of you can suggest to distract you from the humdrum Christmas experience?
Well, there's definitely some things to recommend, but I'll let ladies first. Tonks.
Well, if you have any relatives that you particularly don't like, I'd recommend the Tony Moly Pokemon cosmetics range. And I know this is a bit of a backwards recommendation, but honestly, I got one of the cleansers the other day thinking, wow, this is super cool. I'll just follow through on my trend. And it's like dousing your face in acid. It is genuinely like a chemical peel that you did not want.
Well, you should have picked a water type instead of poison or fire.
Hey.
That was the water type.
Oh, God. Okay.
So I'm just thinking, you want a sort of backhanded present for people. That's the one to go with. It looks cool, but if they ever use it, it's just going to hurt.
Excellent. That's sort of how ex-girlfriends have described me. So that's good. Sean, what about you? Do you have any recommendations at all?
Yes, I have a book called Harmony by Project Ito, which I recommend highly. It's mostly ebook, but you can still get it as well in Dead Tree format. It's quite an interesting story. It raises some quite interesting points because it's about a Japanese future, because it's a Japanese set of authors or author with Project Ito, and it's about a future Japan where your health is a public matter and you don't have any rights to privacy because so many people died during a set of nuclear wars that all life is too precious to allow you to manage your own life. So it's quite an interesting read. It has some very interesting and strange points talking about like suicide as an act of reclamation, and it's just a really, really good and interesting book, and I highly recommend it.
If we're talking interesting books, can we just give a shout out to yours then as well?
Well,
because I did pick those up on Amazon.
Oh, really?
Shameless plugging there, and I did go and actually buy them.
Oh, thank you.
With actual money.
Actual money.
I've read Dust and Sand and was incredibly impressed.
Thank you.
I had a right old time reading it.
Well, the next one will be out on the on Geek Pride next year. I'm just working on it at the moment to get it ready.
That's exciting.
But yeah, thank you for plugging me there, Tonks, as it were. But yeah, that's my recommendation is Harmony. Very, very good, very interesting novel. I truly recommend it. It reads a bit like an anime, except it's a very good book, and it uses a form of HTML for emotional formatting in the storytelling as well, which is really interesting. It's just a very interesting book. Really good. I recommend it highly.
Excellent. My recommendation would be those of you who don't have Netflix, you can get yourself a free month. We're not sponsored by them. I just know you can get yourself a 3 month. So do that and watch Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. It is an absolute blast. It's only about 8 episodes long. It was written by the incredible Max Landis, adapted from some novels for TV.
By Douglas Adams.
Stars Elijah Wood.
Really important
Sorry?
we say they are Douglas Adams novels that it's adapted from, so the guy who did Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Good, thanks for the save. It stars Elijah Wood, and I can't remember what the other guy's name is, because I'm terrible. But it's very, very good. Kind of irreverent, but brilliant. If you have ever watched or watched the film or read the book, John dies at the end. It's sort of like that, kind of. There's a corgi in it, and it's adorable as well, and that's always handy. But it's completely sort of off the wall, very sort of strange, almost. I don't really know how to describe it. There's a holistic assassin in it as well, and they've both got this. The detective and the assassin both have this idea that the universe just kind of sorts itself out. Everything will be all right in the end. You just kind of follow the flow of the universe. They can tap into it. It's got. For those of you that do follow Max Landis's work, you'll be familiar with Mr. Right and American Ultra. It sort of follows the idea of the Ultra project, sort of, but they're not exactly ultras running around. But it is a very interesting. I hate using the word very. It's an incredibly interesting watch, and I binged it in a day because I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And yeah, it's just brilliant. I won't spoil the ending, but there's a steampunk Iron Man, and it's okay, and I don't hate it. So that's kind of praise coming from me for those of you that know how I feel about steampunk. Yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal, and a good way to ignore your family or friends for about 8 hours.
Excellent. So
yes.
That would do on Christmas Day / the end of Hanukkah / I'm afraid I don't know what happens for Kwanzaa, but if you're needing to ignore your family for a protracted period of time, then you've got Dirk Gently, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're not like one of them posh kids that opens their presents sort of in the afternoon, most people I know open their presents at like 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, depending on how high on sugar you got the night before. Then you've done that. You've had your breakfast. You've played with your toys or messed about with your gadgets. You've done that kind of thing. You've started drinking at about 10, 11. You've gotten a little bit too drunk. You've had an argument with someone. Then you have your Christmas dinner at around 3, 4 o'clock. It's at that point that things can start to go sour in my experience over Christmas. Someone slams the door. Someone says something they shouldn't. There's some sort of reveal. Maybe someone's pregnant. That kind of nonsense. So I think about sort of the 6, 7 o'clock would be a good time for you to get stuck into an ebook or acid attack your aunt with some makeup or watch some kind of Netflix show. That would be my recommendation.
Those 3 things are equally valid and fun.
we should write an article of each Geek Prider should be like how to survive Christmas, and just each pick like just a paragraph of like, I would suggest acid attacking your aunt, because of the alliteration. I'm a fan of alliteration. Also this week, a little film came out. You've probably not heard of it. Some like really obscure sci-fi series called
Rogue One,
Starring Wars, Stars Wars. Well, Rouge One came out, and that was quite a good film with robots and lasers in it. Only one lightsaber. Spoilers. It's at the end. I won't tell you who wields it, but it's pretty freaking awesome. Yeah, Rogue One was an unexpected surprise for me. I didn't think I was going to particularly fall in love with it, but it's probably my 3rd favourite Star Wars film. I didn't think much of the lead, if I'm honest. Felicity Jones, I think it is. Didn't really do a lot for me. She was kind of there to deliver exposition and occasionally do a good fight. But I didn't really feel her performance. But the supporting cast and everyone else involved, including obviously Alan Tudyk, whatever his name is, that Wash's droid K2SO was phenomenal, and the story itself was brilliant.
It was, yeah.
I do have a problem with the ending. It does raise an issue in A New Hope, and I think a lot of Star Wars fans have picked this up. This isn't really a spoiler because you kind of knew what was going to happen. But if you are that sensitive to spoilers and you haven't gone and seen it yet, you probably want to like skip forward the next 30 seconds. In fact, I'll count it out. Okay, you want to skip 30 seconds starting from around about now. Okay, so at the end of Rogue One, Vader is there. He's just murdered a load of troops. He's tried to reclaim the Death Star plans, and he sees Leia's ship go blasting off into outer space. Then obviously, A New Hope opens with that, and then Vader kind of says to the princess, you know, this is a diplomat. You're a rebel and a traitor. And she's like, no, this is a diplomatic mission. When now he can literally go, bitch, I literally saw you leave. I literally saw you take off and leave. And then Anakin Skywalker comes back as a Force ghost and murders everyone. Oh, we've run out of time. Oh no. Oh, spoilers. Anyway, yeah. So that's the problem. That's the problem I have with it. And literally, the first thing I said as I left the cinema, talking to my friend who came with me, just going, well, that's going to be a problem. But never mind.
See,
aside from that, fantastic.
I was very glad of the fact that they had Mads Mikkelsen play a heroic character, because I think since he's started being allowed to appear in English-speaking films, he's only allowed to be a villain. Like, he's been Hannibal, he's been villains in James Bond, and so on. And to see him actually do something good was bizarre.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, it was nice to see him emote something that wasn't complete bastard. I find
my favourite of all the emotions.
Phoebe, what was your take on it?
I was just really fond of the fact they let Diego Luna use his own accent. It was really nice to have a really diverse universe, you know, instead of just being, wow, everyone looks the same in space. And I mean, I'm still wondering where all like the space Arabs are at, because there seems to be a drastic shortage of those. But yeah,
I'd make some flippant comment about sand people, but I'm not that guy, so ignore me.
But Diego Luna's just great. I kept having flashbacks of like the Dirty Dancing sequel, and that sort of mashed up with Star Wars in my head. Just as you do. But yeah.
It was fantastic. It was really good.
It was a love letter to the franchise. I was a big fan. I don't think it really missed any beats for me. Like I said, apart from ironically the lead, I really didn't feel her performance. When there's a scene where she gives a bit of a speech and she's like, "That's what," she almost saying it like this, "That's what rebellions are built on, hope." And I'm just like, right, that's you convincing a room full of people. Like, where is your take charge?
Well, look, she's just not actually very charismatic, which is kind of good in a way, because she fails to convince everyone in that room. But she still got the people with her who heard her being more eloquent in a much smaller space. I kind of, in a weird way, I liked that scene because it showed that she, you know, it was avoided the whole criticism there's always been of Luke and of Rey of the kind of superpower never fail that they
the
have.
Mary Sue.
Yeah, the Mary Sue, and she
of it all.
literally was like, no, seriously, like a big potential turning point of the rebellion. She was like, words. I quite liked it because she did sort of grow up in a rebellion and then get abandoned somewhere, so it's fine that she isn't good at public speaking. You don't really get much training of that, I think.
Yeah, I also like the fact, now I don't know how to say this without sounding like a dick, so if I sound like a dick, I apologise, and please understand that it's what I'm trying to see what I'm trying to say, and don't listen to what I'm saying, if that makes sense. I like the fact that she wasn't an over-sexualised glamour queen sort of thing.
Yep.
I'm not making any sense. My brain is shutting down because my brain's going, don't sound like a dick, instead of going, just get the message across. She was quite, I hate using this phrase, she was quite plain looking. She looked like a normal human.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of that helped. And you know, in a way, Rey did that as well. You know, she wasn't overly sexualized. She's a great looking actress. She's a great looking human being. But she, you know, I like the grit of Star Wars, and I think that's what was missing in the prequels. I like the grit.
Yeah.
The dirt. Everyone's covered in filth.
and Jar Jar was just far too attractive in the prequels. It was distracting. Such a handsome man.
Teenage pin-up right there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that scene in Fanboys with Seth Rogen's got that chest tattoo of Jar Jar, and he's like, "Yep, it's gonna be the greatest thing. It's gonna be incredible. This guy is gonna be the figurehead for Star Wars." Oh dear. Anyway, yeah. So Rogue One, go and watch it.
As though you needed to be
go and watch
told
it.
that, though. In fairness, I think basically everyone is going to see that film in the next 5 years. Some kind of.
I'm a bit pissed off, if I'm honest, right? Because it sort of broke convention, and I do another podcast for Geek Pride that's coming out soon, and we recently did what would our Star Wars Episode 9 be, instead of Star Wars Episode 8, because I thought it'd be, let's see how you'd end the new trilogy. And I went against someone else in a kind of a pitch off, as it were. I won't reveal the name of the podcast because when it comes out, I'll do it then. But yeah, my pitch kind of broke some of the traditional conventions of Star Wars. I'm like, there won't be a crawl at the start. It'll literally be a cold open, and here will be the cold open. Then you'll get the titles. Then you might get the crawl, but you might not get the crawl. And then Rogue One comes out a couple of days later and is like, yeah, fuck the crawl. I'm like, oh motherfucker, come on. I would like to point out that I'm a little annoyed by some of the people reporting Rogue One in with the vein of, it's the first film to focus on war in the Star Wars franchise, because you're wrong.
Yeah.
So what films have they been watching?
I don't know. But, I mean, I pointed out on my Twitter, which is @the_dark_Mike, if you want to follow me, that literally the opening crawl of Star Wars Episode 3 is just the word war, followed by an explanation. But it literally, you've just seen in a galaxy long ago, far away. You're like, okay, cool, and then bang, war. Look at this war. Look at this war that's happening. So yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah,
you're wrong.
And Episode 1 is, as much as it's horrific for being all about trade deals and so on, that's how a lot of wars used to start, is over something as ridiculous as trade. That's why we have the concept of a trade war that Donald Trump is going to be starting in the next 3 years. So it's...
He really needs to stop spouting off about nukes, doesn't he?
Yeah, and China.
I don't want to talk to, he seems to come up in every bloody podcast now, but I mean, we are all genuinely, as human beings, scared of the man. He really needs to stop talking about fucking nukes. He really does. And missing in military intelligence briefings.
Yep.
To watch SNL and then bitch about it. Like, really, do some fucking work, please.
Yeah.
Anyway, Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah, that's my one gripe with it. I have another plot hole, but we'll talk about it in a couple of weeks when the film's been out for a bit longer.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But yes.
Yeah, it was great. It was a very good film. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Very funny in places, mostly thanks to the droid. Was it K2SO?
K2SO.
Yeah,
yes,
very
fantastic.
very good piece of writing, piece of casting with that. Donnie Yen was great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was just a very good cast. It's the only nitpick I'd have with the diverse cast is that it was all dudes again. Basically, with the exception of the main character. Like, there wouldn't have been a lot that had been changed if one or two of the dudes had not been dudes. But aside, that's a really minor thing, especially with such a diverse cast. But it is great. It's just so good, fantastic, wonderful. Watch it now.
Or not right now. Listen to the rest of this podcast.
No, pause this
please.
podcast. Pause it right here. Now, you won't hear this for another hour and a half. Actually, no, 3 hours. But it was great, wasn't it? It was absolutely great.
Yeah, excellent. That's good. We should do that instead of we should do a podcast, right? That is us just about to go into a movie.
Yes.
Then you pause it. Then you go and watch the movie. And then you pop the podcast back in on the drive home.
I told Matt that we have to do this for Transformers: The Last Night.
No, please.
No, we do, because that film looks so horrific. It will be amazing. We definitely have to do that. I think it would be just.
We'll call
brilliant.
it like Movie Friends or something. I don't know what you'd call it. The only problem is recording. Like, the recording quality would be quite difficult. Because you're going to be recording it literally on your drive in, and then recording it literally on your drive back. But I don't know. I don't know what you do.
Maybe we just go into the men's, all get into a stall, and that wouldn't look suspicious at all. And
3, even if we've gone with women, we'll just all crowd into a men's stall.
Yep.
And do a podcast.
Absolutely, yes.
And run a pool for who gets arrested first.
Hello and welcome to Stalling for Time.
Oh.
We are in Cineworld, Rochester, and sorry, mate, we are recording a podcast. If you can just, no, I know, no, nothing. He's naked because that's how he feels comfortable. Can you back off, please? You're interrupting. Thank you.
Oh, you want to join in? You want to join in? Okay, well, you don't have to take your pants
off. I'd like
off.
to welcome Barry from the popcorn stand.
You're all right.
Hello. Hi, Barry. So what did you think of Rogue One? I haven't really... You're not supposed to be here, really. Well, Barry, we are trying to do a podcast, so if you can just contribute or...
Barry, this is so unprofessional!
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just... Can you get out?
No, you get out. You're the one who's failed here.
You need to fuck off, quite frankly. I'm sorry it's been to this. But go. Thank you. Then Barry walks away. Anyway, and scene. We are about half an hour through, and using Barry as a wonderful segue, Barry's probably got a shit family because he works at the popcorn stand. Probably when he comes home for Christmas, they ask him if he's courting anyone, ask him if he's got any aspirations, ask him if he's left that bloody cinema yet. He probably gets asked to get the family in for free, and he's like, oh, fuck, I hate Christmas.
Mate, the
much
fact
like
that
Barry,
you're talking
I
about
hate Christmas.
courting, it makes me imagine that Barry's actually from a wealthy, aristocratic family, and that all he can actually achieve in life is to get that job at Cineworld. Not even behind like the popcorn stand or not selling the tickets. He's the guy who watches the bathrooms to make certain that dodgy things aren't happening in there. And so he returns to this stately manor, like 12 bedrooms, with a lord and lady who ask him, genuinely over Christmas dinner, would ask about his aspirations and if he's courting.
Yeah.
And he's just like, sorry, Mum.
Well, okay, is courting not a phrase that either of your parents use?
No. My parents aren't from the 18th century. I can't speak about Tonks.
What about you, Phoebe?
Tonks, have your parents ever asked you if you were courting?
No, not particularly. Although it is quite a nice throwback. Hats off to you for using it.
Well, it's not me. It's my like. Let me get this clear. This accent does not come from my family. I don't know why I talk like this, but I've always talked like this. My family sound a bit like, oh, you all right? Yeah, all right. Like that kind of like Cockney sort of thing. My mum's got a telephone voice, which almost sounds like this, but I don't know where I got this accent from. All the kids in my school didn't sound like this. They're like, yeah, man, I got Pokemon cards and shit, and I'm gonna spit fire bars, yeah. And I was just like, hello, chums. I also like Pokemon. Please don't beat me up and take all my pogs. And then they obviously beat me up and take all my pogs.
Absolutely.
So I don't know why I sound like this, but my mum, in her accent, would be like, you courting anyone? Honestly, I just thought that was a thing that parents said. You're blowing my mind right now that it's not.
It genuinely isn't. I think, the normal ones, as far as I know, would be like seeing, dating, things like that.
Harassing,
yes, obviously.
Are you harassing anyone?
That gives us an insight into Tonks there. That's a bit interesting.
I'm gonna imagine that Tonks follows like some of the celebrities around on the red carpet. I think maybe with a handshake she puts some kind of tag on them, and she's got a pin board in her room with a map of the world and just like Benedict Cumberbatch and other.
Matthew McConaughey is on the toilet. Ooh.
Your silence is your complicity in this act, if I'm honest. You could have had a chance to go, lads, what the fuck are you on about? But the fact that you're just quietly giggling to yourself says to me that we've accidentally hit the nail on the head.
Now, the thing about carpets is everyone usually thinks I'm someone else, so I just smile and nod and pretend to be someone else.
Who do they think you are?
Freebie, the Russian spy, obviously.
Yeah, if I'm not a Russian spy, I'm some random Canadian filmmaker that people will come up to you and be like, oh yeah, I really liked your work at Toronto. And it's like, you mean the festival I didn't go to? But thanks, yeah.
They're like, we really couldn't tell you're from Canada with that accent. You're like, no.
But it's really weird because it's not just one person, it's the entire thing. Every time I go to an event, different place, different time, they always think I'm this one random Canadian filmmaker.
Right, who is this Canadian filmmaker? Because I'm clicking. I'm sorry, everyone listening. Who's this Canadian filmmaker?
I have no idea. I've never thought to ask that far. It's just...
I wonder if there's some
Whoever you think I am, just smile and nod.
I wonder if there's some poor
Female
Canadian
film
filmmaker out
directors.
there who keeps getting like, oh, hiya Phoebe, how are you? And they're getting mistaken for an England-based journalist.
Hun, I've got absolutely no idea, but none of these women look anything like you.
I know I've disappointed people before, though, because when they put... you put your name on a guest list and they think Phoebe Tonkin. And it's like, well, sorry to disappoint, but no, I'm not an Aussie. But yeah.
And then they actually get to know you and they're not quite as disappointed.
Yeah, you're lovely. I honestly don't know who the fuck they think you could be. I'm looking at this this Google search. Maybe like a very young Alanis Ombasawin, Patricia Rozemna, Deepa Mehta. You look nothing like her.
Have you tried
Sarah Polly?
Have you tried
look nothing.
googling her one of her like, this is going to sound really weird, but you can Google search via images, so you could use one of her Facebook images and see if anything comes up that way.
Oh yeah.
Completely
Yeah,
CSI
right.
this shit up, man.
Let's do that. Well, do you know what? You say that, but I found I'm going to use your rather lovely profile picture. Give me a second. I feel really, even though you all know I'm doing it, I feel really creepy. Save image as someone's profile picture from Facebook.
Yep.
I'm deleting it as soon as this experiment is over. I promise you. Nothing untoward. Search by image. Upload an image. Choose file. All files, please. No, desktop, not just desktop podcast. Visually similar. Oh, check you out, Phoebes. The first thing that comes up is best hairstyles for women in 2016.
Hey!
And then after the Marie Claire article, it's hairstyles for 2016. Then it's an awful lot of Asian women. Did you write a thing about shoes?
I did.
Okay. At the bottom of the page is shoe fans rejoice. Louboutin's nude flats are here. So your hidden career in
shoe journalism.
Shoe journalism. I honestly don't know who any of these women are. It's literally 30 look sexy hairstyles with bangs. 1,000 plus ideas about short dark hair on Pinterest. Someone on Pinterest collected 1,000 images of women with short hair. That's weird. 1,000 plus images about long Asian hairstyles on Pinterest. Celebrity hairstyles. Janelia D'Souza and Ind. And then it stops. Oh, hang on. I know who she is. She was in a film. That doesn't help. Punk rock hairstyles and scene haircut. Phoebe, please tell me you were seen at some point, because that would just make my life.
No.
Shall we each do our own, Mike, you and me, shall we now do our own profile pictures and see what comes up?
Alright, okay. This is a good challenge. Okay, let me just grab my profile picture again. Please, Kevin Smith. Come on. Come on. If
I'll just be happy if it doesn't say twat.
4 guys that are complete arseholes. Oh man. Right, hang on. Let's do it. This is exciting. No, Google wants to know my location. Why? Right, okay. Let's upload an image. Les images et moi. Okay. Ooh. Wikipedia. Beard. Beard Construction. Beard, a multi-award winning construction company which designs, builds and restores and furbishes buildings in southern England. Then there are pictures of, I'm going to be honest, very attractive bearded men, including... Oh, Gerard Leto, for fuck's sake. There is Christian Bale as well. And Tom Hardy. Yes. Very similar images. It's the world's most interesting man. I've just clicked on him.
You're winning now. That's
1,000+ images about famous beards on Pinterest. Is this all the same guy? Oh, who's that guy? There's Jeremy Paxman, and then there's that footballer. There's that footballer with the beard who did the Stella adverts.
What you mean?
What's his name?
Eric Cantona.
Is it? Yes, there's a lot of images of Eric Cantona as well as Chris Deula. Christian Bale, I'm happy with that. Variations of the Van Dyke beard, and a gentleman with a really rather large beard.
So you've got way more than I do.
Well, I'm okay with that.
So my picture isn't strictly of me. It's from Play Expo
Right.
in Manchester, and it's me, it's Becca, and it's the selfie king himself, Mr. Geary, who is taking the selfie.
Right.
I have 2 results for this image.
Okay.
One of which is Fan, open brackets, film, close brackets, from Wikipedia. Fan is a 2016
Excellent.
Indian thriller directed by Manish Sharma and featuring Shah Rukh Khan. The second one is Fan, open brackets, person, close brackets. A fan or fanatic, sometimes also called aficionado or supporter, is a person who is enthusiastically devoted to something or somebody.
That's amazing.
The very similar images are all of sports fans who are wearing red and white, because the main colours in the image, because it was Geek Pride event, are me wearing red and white, Matt wearing red and white, and Becca wearing white and red. And so
Excellent.
there's
I'm just saving an image of Geary if you can hear me clicking, because I'm doing it with Geary right now.
My favourite of the featured images, there's very similar images, is there is a guy who is wearing a United States flag sunglasses with a United States flag bandana and a United States flag on his head, along with... that is 2 United States flags on his head, a United States flag on his shirt, and he has the Confederate flag on a set of beads around his neck, and a lanyard with the American flag on as well.
Geary is quite interesting, actually.
Oh?
It's the image of him with a gun at some kind of
Oh, yes, of course, yes.
thing. Discount Arms, the Vegas mechanic, blah, 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 blah. It is said, the image of Matt Geary, the suggested term is Geek Pride Day.
Oh!
And the visually similar images are all memes to do with geeks. And Doctor Strangelove, because of course. Pages that include matching images are all of Matt's fucking Instagram pictures. Oh, well, there's a second page. It's all fucking, his fucking Instagram pictures. So that's interesting.
That's quite clever, really. I guess because Matt does use the Geek Pride page to sometimes put out selfies, and he does the videos as well, doesn't he, where he does giveaways and so on. So he would be, like, his face is intrinsically linked with being proud of being geeky, so Google knows that.
Unfortunate, isn't it?
It knows.
Yeah, I remember. I won't say which member of Geek Pride it was, but I remember a very funny afternoon we had, where a certain member of Geek Pride, who's normally quite grumpy, and likes to take pot shots at things. He likes to have a moan. Posted on our Facebook group and said, "Hi guys, don't really know if you know what's going on with the website, but I'm getting loads of ads about old women and granny porn, so you might want to check out your algorithms." And then we pointed out to this person that
it's
the way that
based
Google
off
Ads works
AdWords,
is it uses the things that you've been searching for while the Geek Pride website has been open to advertise for you better. He was very sheepish after that, and still tried to defend himself and get angry, but it yeah, that was a fun afternoon.
Well,
and had me giggling for about a good day.
The Google adverts and the whole advertising thing is quite creepy in certain ways, because there was a story a couple of years ago about a woman being sold advertising products before it was a teenage girl who was being sold pregnancy products before she told her parents she was pregnant, and they'd worked it out based on what she was buying and what she was Googling, and so it sort of outed her. And there's another one where a guy was outed as being gay because it kept showing gay friendly products to him, and someone saw that. So it's quite an interesting and bizarre and kind of frustrating thing, is the whole advertising thing, because the actual information that Facebook and Google and so on claim on you is only worth about £10-12 over the course of like a year or something, but they claim so much about you and have so much information on you. It's quite it's just a bit bizarre.
Well, here's a little interesting tidbit. I don't know how much I can go in to it. I'm going to try and be safe and just say there are certain advertising panels. I'm not going to tell you where they are or what format they take, but there are certain advertising panels that have cameras built in them. And these cameras have facial recognition software. They don't collect your faces, but what they do is they use that software to determine your age and your gender.
Right.
And what that can do is then it can feed back to the people who are running those advertisements, and will give them a breakdown of who's looked at your ad and a breakdown of the demographics that have looked at it. And this is technology that's looking to be rolled out on almost all advertising. Also in advertising, in a couple of they say the capability will be between 12 months to 2 years time, but we are looking at reflexive advertising as well. So using the data that I just told you about, the being able to determine your age and gender, you say you want to advertise Sean's sexy novels,
right.
but also you've written a children's book.
My sexy children's book.
No, not a sexy children's book. But say you want to hit the middle-aged women market with a sexy book, but you also have written about a elephant that lost a balloon. So you send me both of those ads, and we upload them to, whatever advertising it is. If someone goes past that matches the demographic for that, it will flash the ad up. It's known as reflexive advertising. It's basically Minority Report.
Mm.
And
That's
soon,
just creepy.
It is creepy, but none of this information is kept
yet.
Yeah, I mean that's for the government to decide, and without going political, the EU are trying to smash the Snoopers Charter in half. So hopefully, that will happen, and everything will be okay. Anyway,
except we're not really leaving the EU. We are leaving the EU. And so
sort of,
their protection is going
point.
to go away somewhat.
Well, yeah.
So we'll have a future to look forward to of wanking dead-eyed to government-approved pornography.
What book is it? In the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, 1984, known as the Black Dossier. For those of you who don't know, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen comic series actually, they go through time, and they take they're from universes that are fictionally important. So they go through Lord of the Rings, they go through War of the Worlds, they go through Rupert, they go through Harry Potter, but also they go through 1984. And in the back of the book is a Tijuana Bible. But a Tijuana Bible that is based on 1984. So they have sex, and it's really kinky, and then they get taken away for sexual deviancy at the end. So it's like a little porno comic, but also it's it's like a warning for any of the workers. So it's like, if you're aroused by this, then there's something wrong with you. I just think that's really cool, kind of subversive sort of thing. But yes, we will be definitely wanking to government mandated porn. Or just, making our own, I guess. Is that allowed? gonzo pornography.
I don't know. I think
Maybe
it's
maybe
it's
we'll see the
weird
rise of it.
because the restrictions that they want to put on pornography as a result of the Snoopers Charter, are the restrictions they'd put on to anything that you could buy on DVD, and so that's
Right.
quite different. So it might be a case that it would be legal to produce certain kinds of pornography, but not to broadcast it, which is just a very strange situation to be in. But
Yeah.
then again, you already get kind of 16, 17-year-olds who are in the position of they can literally fuck each other stupid, but if they take one photo, they're suddenly child pornographers. So it's the whole thing's bizarre anyway. Everything's bizarre.
Yeah. I think unfortunately us English folk there's still a generation, and maybe I'm part of that generation still too. They're actually saying that millennials are not having a lot of sex at all, which is strange. But anyway,
you make that sound like Mike. It's strange because I'm having loads of sex.
Well, I'm stuck in a weird phase, Sean. If I'm honest, not sexually, where I'm technically a millennial, but like all my friends and all the media that I consumed during my childhood are very much Generation X. So I always feel like I'm on the brink because I was born in 1989. I always feel like I'm on sort of the brink of both worlds.
Yeah, that'd be Gen Y then.
Yeah, but Gen Y sort of gets ignored, and we just all get lumped in as millennials.
It's true.
Because the argument of the baby boomers and the Gen Xers are, were you a teenager during the 2000s? And I go, well, yeah. And then they go, well, therefore you are a millennial. But I don't feel like a millennial. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel very much older than my years.
Yeah.
I feel very much like a Gen Xer. My two best friends are Gen Xers, so some of my best friends are black. Anyway, we are at 40-something minutes. To close off the podcast, what I would like, apart from the recommendations of acid attacks, I just want to know if you've got any geeky stories from Christmas, any particularly Christmassy themed. Yeah, geek stories. I don't know why I tried to repackage what I was saying.
No, me either.
Just changing the words. It's like I was writing an essay and I had to get to the word count.
It doesn't.
This is the essay that I'm going to write, which will involve me writing this essay.
In this essay, which I am writing now, I will discuss this essay's theme. This essay's theme is...
Yeah, here are the contents. Included in these contents are...
and those were the contents.
I think it'll be most interesting to start with Phoebe, purely because you don't celebrate Christmas. Are there any stories that you have, cool things that happened, or just nice things that happened over the holiday season that was particularly geeky, or just something nice that happened that you want to sort of share with the group? Now, it's sounding like therapy, but it's not, I promise.
Not. The only thing I really like about the holidays is binge watching all the TV that ends up recycled year after year.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a proper tradition, that nostalgia for watching something that you've seen 1,000 times over.
Sure.
And it's usually really depressing things. Like, I end up watching, like, Land Before Time at Christmas.
Okay.
And it's like, it's really good and I'm super excited for it. And then it's just like, no, his mum dies and it kills me. Or the one that always gets me is when they decide to put Prince of Egypt on at Christmas. And it's like, if you're going to put it on at all, put it on at Easter because it's near a Passover.
That's true.
But it's like, there's more than one programme. So I kind of like what Sean was saying before about Rugrats and the Rugrats Hanukkah special.
Yes, those.
Cause
Yeah.
that was always fun. And it's like the closest anyone's going to ever get to understanding what we actually do. Or Friends.
Are you saying? Yeah, I was going to say. Are you saying that the holiday armadillo isn't an accurate representation of Hanukkah at all?
It is. It's the most on point thing they could possibly have done. The armadillo hanging out with probably a few Ninja Turtles and just chilling with Santa and Jesus and his homies.
Excellent. Good. I'm glad. I mean, if you'd have told me any different, everything I know up to this point,
I don't want to shatter your world.
Yeah, no, well, exactly, and you would have shattered my fragile little mind, and I'd just have ended up in the fetal position, just humming Jingle Bells until I wept blood. Sean, do you have any kind of? Are there any kind of geeky standout moments for you?
Yeah, well, I always hum Jingle Bells while weeping blood. So no,
good.
Yeah, I guess I'm one of these weird people who doesn't have to escape for Christmas. We have such a tiny family anyway that there's never really any big nasty kind of surprises and so on. I say that, but I've had some really horrific Christmas experiences. Couple are a little too personal to share, but there was the time that my mum's boyfriend locked himself in the bathroom and tried to kill himself on Christmas Day. So,
oh my god,
that was fun. But
I'm getting you on gentlemanly chats. We're getting in deep. That's incredible.
Yeah, I'd be up for that because I've had a couple of absolutely terrible Christmases. But I do love Christmas. I think I'm a heathen though, so it doesn't really have any spiritual or emotional impact for me beyond just the fact that it's time off, it's a nice meal, it's just a bit of time with some family, and I get things. People give me things. I don't even have to do anything, and I get things. It's fantastic.
Always handy.
Yeah.
I do like things.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Stuff and things.
I don't get things anymore. Like I'm way more about like I like giving my family stuff. They enjoy it, and then I'll get kind of the perfunctory presents. I've literally asked my mum for money this year. What do you want? I was like, please just pay a bill. I've got to that stage.
I've watched so much porn. I need to really clear off this debt.
Before they make it all illegal, I've downloaded it all. No, I just like, with my housemate moving out, things are kind of tight financially. My job prospects are kind of, I don't really want to talk about it, but yeah, it could be a problem in the new year. So yeah, finances are going to get tight sort of around Q1 of 2017. So I'm just like, just pay a bill, please. Just pay my Virgin bill, thank you. Yeah, I don't know where I was going from there because I kind of got sidetracked about Santa. Yeah, my Christmases are an interesting affair. They've been incredibly varied. I nearly broke up with a girlfriend a couple of years ago on Christmas Day, and in hindsight, I probably should have. Because what followed was a year and a bit of nonsense and sadness that could have been avoided if I'd have used my brain.
I think, mate, no, you do it Boxing Day, because Christmas Day is just a dick move. Boxing Day is fine, but Christmas Day is just a step too far.
Well, the thing is, yeah, like I said, Christmases have been very varied, and while I like kind of giving stuff to my family, Christmas now for me the one, because I honestly, guys, I fucking hate Christmas. I hate the forced cheer of it. I hate the expectation. I hate the I hate any environment where you're expected to be happy, and then there's something wrong with you if you're not, because typically when there's forced cheer, that's when I'm like, oh, fuck this. This is why I could never go to Disneyland, because I'd just be like, what is wrong with every single one of you? Like, this is so fake. Sort your lives out. But the one bit of, like, festive cheer I do get is giving the people I love, like my friends, my circle of friends, my close sort of 4 or 5 best friends. I love thinking about getting them presents, getting them the presents, and then giving them the presents and letting them see them going like, oh fuck, I mentioned that in August, and I'm like, yes you did. And you didn't get it, so now you've got it. And I love that. I love watching people get gifts that I've given them. I'm very much a giver, both sexually and otherwise.
Ladies.
Yeah. So yeah, I love it. I love the look on their faces when they're just like, what the fuck? Like, how do you remember? And I'm such a stickler for that. If I remember something someone likes, or I remember something that someone mentions, or I see them react to something, I'm like, right, that's your Christmas or birthday sorted. Not a problem. And typically what I'll do is I'll throw them a red flag by going, what do you want? And they'll go, oh, what I could want is this. I'm thinking, yeah, but you don't actually want that. You actually want this other thing. And then I get them the other thing, and they're like, holy shit. Like my my good friend Kate, I gave her some chameleon pens because we'd got drunk together on November the 5th, and we're watching infomercials at, I think it was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And we saw these chameleon pens. They're like these pens that blend together. They're sort of like felt tips, but they're fancy felt tips. And she was just going, they're fucking amazing. They're fucking brilliant. And I'm just like, yes, they are. And we kept laughing about them. So now it's like she's got them, and it's like not only a memory of like that fucking awesome night that we hung out, but like now she actually does think they're awesome because she's kind of artsy fartsy. But that's the kind of thing that I mean, you know, when you just completely surprise someone with a callback to something, they're like, holy fuck, like that's amazing. But yeah, that's the one good bit. Playing board games with my family since getting into tabletop games has been a problem. I still get called out about bringing Cash and Guns to a Christmas 2 years ago because no one understood how to play it, despite me telling them how.
Are you certain they weren't just disappointed that you didn't bring actual cash and actual guns?
Cash and yeah, there's maybe that as well. Yeah. So I don't bring the board games anymore, despite the fact that I have the best board game collection in the family. But they're all like, they just want to play Monopoly and fall out. I'm like, all right.
Did you see there was a post on Reddit about 3-4 weeks ago, which was how to basically guarantee winning at Monopoly and convincing everyone who plays to never play it again?
No.
There's essentially the way Monopoly is built. It's supposed to be one. I think I might have discussed this previously, but it's supposed to be one massive, great kind of criticism of the way capital actually works, and how at a certain point where you have capital, it's basically almost impossible for you to not continue to earn. Whereas no matter how hard other people work, they can never get into the position you're in. And that is reinforced by the fact that there's an actual limit on the number of houses you can buy.
Yeah.
So the strategy to win is just to buy properties and just fill them up with houses, and then no one else can have houses. And essentially now every other player is now screwed, going around the map, unable to get any better with their own properties, and constantly paying on your properties, to the point that there's literally nothing they can do, and they're eventually just going to lose. It's just a grind down until they have no money at all, and they have to be declared bankrupt. And that's basically how the game was designed to be played, because it's not really supposed to be a fun game. It's supposed to be a critique of capitalism itself.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
Yep. It's like, another minor thing is, it's going to sound stupid, but what is the game where you've got a stack of, like, wooden bricks and you push one out and you keep pushing them?
Jenga.
Yes. The woman who designed Jenga always gets in trouble when she plays Jenga, because she plays it to the strict rules and no one else everyone thinks that's cheating. Now, in Jenga, as we all know, you're only allowed to use one hand.
Yeah.
However, nowhere in the rules does it say that you're not allowed to use any other part of your body. So when you play Jenga against the woman who designed it, she will use her face, she will use her other arm, she will use her shoulder, she will use any part of her she can in order to take out the little bricks. And
oh, no way.
And they say that's cheating. And she says, no, motherfuckers, I designed this bitch. She probably doesn't say that exactly, but
I hope she does.
I hope so as well, yes.
I thought of another anecdote.
Oh, excellent.
Go on, then.
Do you remember when everyone was really mad for Furbies?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was so adamant that I wanted one, and they came in like those hexagonal boxes, so if you wrapped them up, you definitely knew what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
And my mum wrapped one up in a kettle box, like a Kenwood kettle box. And when I'd come to open it, I thought she'd got me a kettle. And like 8-year-old me was just, I was in tears because she's like, didn't you open the box and look? And it's like, no, why did you get me a kettle? What did I do to deserve this?
That's amazing, because you didn't even have that weird childhood thing of Santa got you it. You just knew your mum had bought you a kettle. That's amazing. Your mum...
So kids today grow up so fast.
Your mum is such a great troll. Like
that is
that is
fantastic.
genuine trolling, not the modern day trolling where you just threaten someone with rape online. But that was actual trolling. That's fantastic.
Jesus Christ.
Where's the lie there, Mike?
Yeah.
Where was the lie there? Because that's what current trolls do.
Yeah, it reminds me of a Christmas I had. I wrote about this for another website about when I got my N64.
Boo!
Stop booing it, you bloody child. I have a habit of opening all my small presents first and then moving up to the big ones, which is apparently not what you're supposed to do. So I found out I had an N64 by opening up, what was it? World Cup '98 in N64, and I was like, Mum, why have you got me World Cup '98 for the N64? Like, that's really cruel. Why would you do that? I haven't got one. And then I opened up another and I'm like, cool, now you've got me Mario. That's brilliant. What have I got to be a good boy then to get the rest of the console? Like, what is this? And then just kept going. And then I was opening other presents, and then I looked over at the thing, and my mum was like suitably pissed off. I went, do I need to open the big present? She went, yes, you need to open the fucking big present. I was like, okay. So I opened it up, and I'm like, Mum, you got me an N64. Oh my god. It blew my mind. Yeah.
I'm just jealous you had an N64. I think the most high-tech thing I ever had was a SNES.
You got that kettle that one time.
Exactly.
Stuff of dreams, that.
I'd love a SNES. If someone bought me a SNES now, I'd be like, thank you so much. That's awesome.
Yeah, but she's not...
I just remember everyone else was going mad for them. Like, they had the N64 and Dreamcast and all these other consoles and stuff, and it's just us, me and my brother, sat there playing on our SNES.
I didn't get it the first year it came out. I got it like a couple of years after.
No, I think it came out before I was born, so...
Oh.
Well, the SNES?
Ow, how young are you?
When did the SNES come out?
The SNES would have been like 90-odd. Yeah.
One?
Well, I was born in 91.
Oh,
fuck
God.
Off.
Ow.
No way. That's crazy.
Do you think I was old?
I didn't think you were old.
I thought you were...
You sound wise beyond your years then.
I thought you were an
incredible.
adult.
Well done. Thought you were an adult.
Oh God. No, I think the SNES. Yeah. I remember getting a NES. So that's how ancient I apparently am. But in fairness, I actually bought all of my own consoles by like doing paper rounds and things like that. I think the only console
really sad.
I got from like Santa was maybe the Sega Mega Drive.
Yeah, but the Sega Mega Drive was the tits.
It was literally both tits. It was fantastic. But I worked very hard for my consoles. I had to buy them myself. So.
And you still do a paper round now for saving up for a Nintendo Switch, aren't you?
Oh God. No, thank fuck. No, I can buy my own things now.
Excellent. Well, I mean, that brings us to an hour. And although this is a Christmas special, we only want to deprive you of your families for about an hour. So tell your mum I love her. And have a fantastic Christmas, all of you. Or a good New Year. Or a good Kwanzaa. Or a Hanukkah.
Yeah. Have
or
a hellacious
some sort of
Hanukkah.
Solstice.
A crazy Kwanzaa.
A fallacious Hanukkah.
Hellacious.
I like the first one.
If you want to have a Hanukkah filled with fallacies, that's
I want you to have
absolutely
a fallacious Hanukkah, a cunnilingual Kwanzaa, and a sexy solstice. All of you out there in podcast land, have a crap Christmas, because Christmas is bullshit. So you don't get any sexiness. But yeah, whatever you're doing, try not to kill each other, and yeah. We will see you probably for like a New Year's roundup, possibly. I don't know if that's going to go out because Geary's like away in his homeland.
Getting the Northern Irish Fanta. Remember, hashtag make Matt great again.
Yes, that's still going. GRATE, make Matt great again. That's probably the most sort of radio DJ I've sounded in a while. Yes, that's right. We're still running our competition. That's Make Matt Great Again. That's Make Matt Great Again. GIATE. You can still get involved. That's on Twitter. You can follow Geek Pride at Geek Pride1. You can follow me at _dark_Mike, or you can follow us at KMFM. Yes, I have been Mike Orvis. Thank you very much. He's been Sean Wallace.
I have.
And she's been Phoebe Tonks.
Yep, I have.
Catch you soon. Chicka chicka.